name is Dani Johnson, and today I have a very rushed day. And I want to talk to you about self-image. You know, oftentimes, especially women, as well as men, we have a tendency of letting ourselves go when we've got, you know, like I've got 5 kids, we have 5 companies, lots of projects, a house to take care of, laundry. In fact, I just got back from a trip in San Francisco, just a fun, spontaneous trip that I took with my 2 younger sons. Haven't unpacked yet, got here really late, had a nice date with Hans, and here it is, it's 15 minutes before my 1 o'clock appointment, and I've got some wonderful frizz, and I have to be live on camera with Jonathan, who heads up our video department, in about 45 minutes. And I have a 1 o'clock appointment in between. So this is my moment. I just finished my radio show. I have 15 minutes before my 1 o'clock appointment. 1:45, Jonathan's gonna be here and expecting me to be camera ready. So, had my makeup all done before I got on the radio, but now there's this, and this is not gonna work for the kind of video work that we need to get done. So I wanna show you how really quick you can change your hair and make it look awesome with only a few minutes. So, what I did is I did my hair, my radio show while my hair was actually air drying, and I prefer to have my hair air dry so that it doesn't damage it even more. And I try to use a curling iron as rarely as possible. In all actuality, maybe just a couple times a month. We're going to spend some time on another video another time, and I'm going to show you one of my other secrets that we do, especially at First Step Success. When I'm speaking, because I have very little time to actually do my hair, I actually sleep in something and it makes it really big and curly. But here's what I'm going to do. I only have a few minutes. I've actually done what I'm about to do on a motorhome while my husband's driving. So in this case, I'll just take a small little section and I'm actually going to roll. I'm not even going to open the curling iron. I'm just going to roll my hair, over it, over the curling iron. Try not to burn your fingers because that really sucks and hurts. Okay, so you just kind of hold it there really quick. And that's the kind of curl that you get. And so I just kind of pull random sections, and with those random sections, and I will kind of go random directions so that we get, I don't know, kind of that random look, I guess, that I decided right now that I'm going to go for today's video production. So just grabbing piece by piece, and this should be done in my 15-minute time span. Also the other thing I wanted to tell you was, because talking about self-image, you know, when you don't take care of yourself and you don't put any time into looking your best, well, then you kind of don't feel your best. And we live in a world today that, you know, the soccer mom often puts her hair in a messy bun or a ball cap. She's greasy, not 1 day, but 2 days. Baggy sweats, t-shirt with stains on it, and ta-da. Well, she looks like a lot of other moms, you know, that are out there. I want to tell you that you've got, first of all, if you are married and you do have a husband, it's kind of a good idea that you are still selling that guy on thinking about you. And when a woman puts some little bit of time into herself, she doesn't have to put hours into herself. That's kind of over the top and a bit ridiculous. But when a woman puts some time into herself, it shows. And you do feel better, don't you? I mean, do you know that for yourself? You feel better. Come on, everybody's gone out before and put their best clothes on and did their makeup up really nice and put some attention on their hair. You know, we've all been a part of something like that. And when we do that, we clearly feel better about ourselves. So it's really important that you do that. I'm not saying every single day. You don't have to every single day wear, you know, a ton of makeup. Every single day you've got to make your hair look great. But I would say that there's got to be probably a good percentage of the week that you do. Don't make the habit of sweats, t-shirts, or jeans and sweatshirts and ponytail and, you know, looking like you just got out of bed. It doesn't make you feel good. And you don't look good. And by the way, I think kids remember things like that. I do. You know, because I've heard it. I've counseled a lot of kids, and they say things like, oh, you know, my mom, see, okay, I don't know how many minutes it's been, but half of my head's done. So that didn't take very long, did it? you know, kids remember that. They remember whether or not their mom took care of herself and whether or not their mom, you know, was either embarrassing to their friends or based on looks, or, and I'm not talking about a big nose, I'm not talking about the facial structure, because that part really doesn't matter. You have a foundation of a face and you can actually change that. And by the way, we'll definitely do a video on that. I'll teach you some secrets with makeup too. I have a little bit of it, of course, because I speak and do TV stuff. So anyway, as you can see, it doesn't take very long to do this. It's very simple. Just don't burn your finger, because that part would suck. Anyway, I promise you, once you find some simple solutions about how to make yourself just look a little bit better, then you feel better. When you feel better, you treat people differently, by the way. You really do. You actually will treat people differently when you feel better. Oh, I want to tell you this story, too. I actually mentioned this on a radio show recently. The mom that I grew up with, she was 280 pounds in her 20s, and she had three daughters, so the three of us that were raised by her. And I just remember, you know how the craziest little things that actually stick out in your head when you're a kid? I remember being outdoors at a park with my aunt, who was, you know, 4'11", and this tiny little thing that was very busty and beautiful Italian woman. And then my mom, who was her younger sister, was 280 pounds. And away from, off in the distance, we were at the park, and I just happened to hear my mom and my aunt point at a woman and say this. My mom said, and it was another larger woman. And the thing is, back in those days, larger women were not a popular thing. It was a very unusual thing to see. Today, it's very, very common. But there was another woman that was about the same size as my mom. And my mom said, she shook her head and she said, there's no excuse for that. Just because you're poor and you're heavy doesn't mean that you let yourself look like trash. My mom had no money, and she wore clothes that had been given to her. And mind you, I think that day she might have been wearing chocolate brown polyester pants with a, you know, elastic waist. But my mom didn't have stains all over herself. She was clean. She had a little bit of makeup on. She did her hair. She made sure she looked her absolute. She made sure that she looked her absolute best. Each day, in front of us kids, in front of the family, she made sure that she looked her absolute best. So that helped her self-image. My mom eventually wound up losing all of that weight and fit into a size 6 jeans eventually. But it all starts with how you see yourself, and how you see yourself is based on what you put into yourself and how you treat yourself. So anyway, these now I'm gonna let cool, and then either I can shake them out or I can just leave them just like this. Typically I just leave it just like this. I don't know how many minutes that took, but it was fast. In fact, let's see. Yeah, it was less than 10 minutes. So no excuse. You can put just a little bit of time into yourself, helps you feel better about yourself, and I just showed you how to curl your hair super fast. Hey, if you are somebody that, or there's someone that you know that wants to succeed better in life, make sure you visit the website DaniJohnson.com for more lifestyle success tips. You want to pay off debt, you want to get tips on that, you want to grow in your career and make yourself more valuable in that career, you can go to DaniJohnson.com, where hundreds of thousands of people have benefited from the free materials that are on that site, as well as videos and articles. And don't forget the Dani Johnson Show every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, Wednesdays at noon, and Wednesday night for the Spiritual Equipping broadcast, and the free Monday night training strategy call every single week, where we will tackle a new strategy that you can help to improve your work life, your home life, and your financial life. So if this helped you, I would love to hear from you. Just comment right there at the bottom, and make sure you go on over to DaniJohnson.com so you can continue to improve yourself, as well as that self-image. Doesn't matter what your size is. Doesn't matter what size your nose is. What matters is what you do with it, friend. That's the only thing that matters. So here you go. I gave you one quick tip. Doing your hair super fast. Now go run with it and pass this video on to someone else by sharing it right now if you want to help to bless somebody else's day. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.